Good evening, my fellow infected psychopaths. Today, I'll be injecting you with the insanity that is my voice. Let's get started. You know, it's funny, originally I wanted to use the actual flood in this video, but both sides said, no, you can't use the flood, it'll cause a mass level extinction event of all races. So I had to improvise. So I got up early and got to work. The body of the flood is actually two balloons that were taped together that I covered in expanding film. When the film got to a certain point, I was able to mold the top of the head, I guess, to like that shape that I wanted. Right in this part of the video, I'm actually covering a layer of liquid latex onto a table and putting some pieces of paper towel over it, then brushing another layer of liquid latex over it. Liquid latex is kind of like liquid rubber. The reason why I'm using this method is so I can peel like this rubber skin off the table when it dries, so I can actually glue it onto top of the flood head. I used ripped up pieces of toilet paper and liquid latex to kind of help hide the edges. The legs are a combination of quite a few things. First I got some wire and I wrapped some paper towels over it, and then I wrapped some plastic wrap over it. The reason for this is the wire will actually help so I can bend the legs in certain positions, so I can have the flood in some particular positions that I would want. I thought the legs weren't rigid enough. It can bend, but it was too flexible. So I took some plaster cloths or plaster wrap and cover all the legs, all the parts of the legs, but the joints. So it makes the legs a bit more rigid so it won't flop over when I set the flood down. I covered the legs and ripped a piece of paper towel and liquid latex to give the legs a bit more skin-like texture. When the legs were finally done, I glued them all in place. The last thing that I needed to make was the tendrils. This was actually really easy, a lot more easy and less complicated than making the legs. What I did was I basically painted a layer of liquid latex on a flat surface and took some rolled up pieces of paper towel and rolled it up almost like a fleshy rubbery dough. As the little feelers at the end of the tendrils, I basically did the same treatment as making the main part of the tendrils, except I went for a more skinnier look. I used more liquid latex and paper towels to make some of the finer details at the end of the tendrils. Once everything was done, I glued them on the inside of the big gap of the flood. And I also use expanding foam to kind of spray around the tendrils, so it looks like it's part of the actual body of the flood. Oh, side note, I made some of these spike stains to glue on the back of the flood. I used the same method as the tendrils, except make it into almost like a spike shape. After when everything was done, the flood infection forms needed some paint. The primary color scheme was this opaque, dirty white color. Here we're just gonna paint some happy little infected red. Just some happy little infected red. Remember guys, there are no accents, just happy little flood infected. And like Bob Ross, just beat the brush like it owes you money. Remember, fellow infected psychopaths, there are no accents. Just happy little flood super cells and infected.
on now? What? 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 And jump. One more time. Testing in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Testing in 3, 2, 1. One more time. Testing in 3, 2, 1. Time. Testing in 3, 2, 1. Alright, I think that was pretty good. Recording? Yep. Okay. Jump. One. Three, two, one.
You little shit. And that's all the time we have today for this class of Arsenal. Tune in for my next project where I fixed up Steve, my beloved test dummy, of course. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also hit or shoot the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out my social media pages. Links in the description, of course. Until next time, see you later, you psychopaths.